On Saturday evening, Round Rock was hosting its Juneteenth celebration at Old Settlers Park, located at 1371 Harold's Parkway. At approximately 10:50 p.m., an altercation broke out between two groups. During that altercation, someone produced a gun and began to fire. Multiple victims were hit. Officers who were on scene at that concert immediately responded. They immediately began rendering aid to multiple victims. Fire, who was also on scene at the event, immediately responded and also began rendering aid. Multiple victims were transported to local hospitals. Unfortunately, we do have two deceased on scene. We do not have a suspect in custody. This is an ongoing investigation. The information I have given is preliminary at this point. I will release deceased information at a later time, along with other victims at a later time. I'd like to thank the police officers and the fire department for their quick response. I have no doubt that their actions of rendering aid to those victims saved lives. They did add tourniquets to those who were bleeding or had gunshot wounds. Officers and fire department also did CPR on our victims. And again, unfortunately, we had two that did not make it tonight. It is unfortunate that we're here celebrating a wonderful event and we have a tragedy that happens. My thoughts, my prayers go out to our victims. My condolences go out to the families of the deceased. This time, do we have any questions?
What other actions were taken in a defensive measure by the police to quell the shooting?
So the shooting happened immediately and the suspects took off running. Suspects were not taken into custody. What I do ask is if there's any witnesses that might have video or have witnessed this incident to please notify the Round Rock Police Department. We can be reached at 512-218-5500. Again, that's 512-218-5500.
Were they able to put together a description?
We got multiple descriptions. This was an open area with a lot of people. And so as you can imagine, with a traumatic incident like this, people are going to have different accounts of what happened and different accounts of what that suspect might have looked like. And so this is why it's an ongoing investigation. We're trying to piece that together. And again, if there's anybody that has information, please contact us.
You say it was an altercation between two groups, so there were possibly two guns, people with guns going back and forth. Is that accurate?
So at this time, we do not know how many shooters there were. That is part of the ongoing investigation that we have right now.
Are you able to release how many were injured?
There were multiple victims taken to hospitals throughout the Round Rock and Austin area. And so we are making sure that we have an accurate count. I do not want to give out any inaccurate information at this time. As soon as the investigation gives me the number of victims, I will release that.
Are you confirming two fatalities?
That is correct. Two people are deceased on scene.
Any ages or anything like that?
I will release identities later.
Just to be clear, none of the injured or fatal shootings were emergency personnel either on duty or off.
Thank you for that question. So all the victims and the deceased were not emergency personnel or first responders. They were actually folks that were there enjoying the concert. Old Settlers Park is an open field with a stage. The shooting did not occur near the stage. It occurred near the vendor area, away from the stage. The two victims, I can tell you, were not part of the altercation.
How big was the crowd at that point?
I'd be giving you an estimate of how big, but it was a pretty large crowd.
How disappointing is it to have an event like this tainted in this manner?
So having an event like this, where we're here to celebrate such an occasion as Juneteenth, and to come together as a community is a terrific, monumental event for us. But then when you have it marred by senseless tragedy as such that happened at Old Settlers Park, it just breaks your heart. It breaks your heart for a family that was coming out to enjoy their evening, and now their life is forever changed as a result of somebody who could care less about somebody else's life. And that's so disappointing. Our goal is to put those folks behind bars, and our goal is to get them put away for life. And we're going to work tirelessly to do that. No stones unturned. I'd like to thank the Williamson County Sheriff's Office, who is out here assisting us. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is out here assisting us. I received phone calls from other agencies that have showed support and asked if we needed help. They knew the magnitude of this event and of this incident, and I can't thank them enough. Especially the officers and the firefighters who were there immediately upon the victims being struck, that rendered aid. And like I said earlier, I have no doubt their actions saved lives tonight.
Status of the park right now, what is your message to the public if someone should choose to, like, it's Sunday, we're going to come out to the park like we normally do or something like that? What is your message to the public?
So I know Sunday being Father's Day, Old Settlers Park is going to be closed for the duration of the morning. Our goal is to get that back open by later afternoon. So I'd ask anybody that had plans to show up to the park, whether it's for soccer games, baseball games, or anything of that nature, those are all being canceled. So please do not show up or reach out to the organizers and get further times.
Anybody else?
Anything else? Okay, thank y'all. Appreciate it.